It is week 10 of PFR Scoreboard on Lakeshore Public Television tonight. The start of the postseason, sudden death high school football, Wayne. So the crushing reality for some players tonight that the careers are over.
Yeah.
The big schools have the night off, but
yes.
A lot of action going on.
And Michigan City has the night off, too.
Yes.
That's right, because they're in a 5-team section.
They had a bye, yeah.
Right. But, yeah, it was a big night for a lot of schools, and, it's a tough time at this point in the year because, it's coming, basketball season, wrestling season is coming. So.
And the bad weather. We'll have highlights, scores, all the finals coming up next on PFR Scoreboard.
Is your throat still sore?
Yes.
We're almost there.
When you need a doctor, urgent care at Pinnacle Hospital. We have a network of physicians on site, located at 9301 Connecticut Drive in Crown Point. Urgent care at Pinnacle Hospital.
Who is the dark afraid of? His name is Tim. When you report a power outage, Tim and linemen like him respond to the call. Text OUT to 444-111 to report an outage. With your cell phone, when the power's out, power is still in your hands. A Flex Equity line from Tech Credit Union gives you convenient access to cash whenever you need it. This home equity loan features a low introductory rate and no closing costs. Tech Credit Union is an equal housing lender and is federally insured by the National Credit Union Administration. Learn more at techcu.org or call Tech Credit Union at 800-276-TECH.
Programming on Lakeshore Public Television is provided by Strack & Van Til Food Market. Custom decorated cakes, breads, and baked goods right from the oven. Domestic meats and artisan cheeses in every store. 7 days a week, fresh is more than just a word. Strack & Van Til, built around you.
Week 10 of PFR Scoreboard on Lakeshore Public Television. We jump in to the highlights. First off, a rematch of a regular season game where the Gavitt Gladiators beat Morton. And Gavitt's offense has been really proficient all season long until tonight. And,
it's so hard to beat a team twice in a row. They just played last week. Gavitt kind of dominated that particular game against Morton. Not tonight. It was a close one tonight.
Morton's defense on the mark tonight for most of the ballgame. Let's check out some of the highlights. Gavitt and Morton. Kevin Armstrong and company on the quarterback draw right up the middle.
Armstrong had a pretty good running and throwing night, as usual. This senior has really played well. It seems like he's been around for like 10 years or something.
Yes. Curtis Nugent on the tackle there. That was Kashawn Prather on the catch. Here goes Tevin around the right side. Nice little wildcat action they're running there.
Here's a nice run right there. When Armstrong is healthy, he is a very good quarterback. Nice throw there.
I think that's Prather again. They're number 21. A little reverse.
Reverse there, fooled Gavitt there. They were able to kind of contain Hurd. Hurd had a pretty good first half for Gavitt, Kyle did, but then in that second half, Morton kind of adjusted their defense, and Hurd did not have the same type of numbers he's used to.
Morton took a 12-0 lead very late into this football game until Gavitt then finally responded with a couple of late scores. Actually had a chance to win the game in regulation. There's a nice touchdown run, but they had a bad snap on their extra point, Wayne,
Right.
and didn't get a chance to even attempt the extra point to win the game in regulation.
You know,
Yeah.
Curtis Nugent had a really nice game for Gavitt. Last week's unknown player for us, and he really stepped up and played well for Gavitt. But, you know, I don't know if they just don't have a kicker, you know, because it was tied 12-12, and all they needed to do is kick a
What was a
extra
bad
point.
snap? I think
But they tried the Wildcat. They didn't even try to kick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was for an extra point.
No, I thought that they would try to Wildcat and try to run the ball, and then they had a penalty that moved them back, and then they had the bad snap.
Okay. Well, a lot of things can go wrong
Oh,
at an extra
yeah.
point, and sometimes it's not the kicker, but
That's right.
that will get you beat, and it did for the Gladiators tonight as they fall 18-12 in overtime. All right, Hobart looking at a chance at a sectional for the first time in a long time, and they were looking to get off on the right foot tonight, and this is going to be a big year for the Brickies.
Yes, it is.
The draw lined up nicely for them. They got over the South Bend hump tonight. They got a matchup against KV next Friday night, and they've got both Andrean and New Prairie on the opposite side of the draw, which is where they wanted to have them both. Let's check out the Brickies and South Bend, Washington. You know, somebody told me a few weeks ago, Wayne, they were going to get me a Brandon James hat with a big number 7.
Oh, yeah.
I have not seen it yet.
Yeah. Well, if they keep winning, they may get you a jersey, too.
Defense for the Bricks, Nick Ray was awesome tonight. They had
He
a
really
great
was.
defensive performance.
Great defensive performance, and I think he scored a touchdown right here.
That's
He was close.
Chris Tyler, I think,
Okay.
on the run.
I think Rays did score a touchdown. So Hobart has really put it together here late in the season.
They're going to need both phases.
Yes,
Here's
they
a
are.
nice field goal for the Bricks.
Right. That was a Bricky field goal.
But the story tonight for Hobart was their defense. A defense that has been mostly up than down this year.
Mm-hmm.
But they have had their moments where against LaPorte, but they had some other games where it wasn't a top-notch performance. Their offense has been pretty consistent. Although they give up a sack right there as Mickey Wolf is tackled.
You know, our cameraman came back and said that there must have been 12 sacks on both sides of the ball, you know, total. So there were a lot of defensive sacks that figured into this particular game.
I think Sam Ehrlich for Hobart had a defensive score. I think the Brickies might have had a couple of defensive scores tonight. Hey, but they're giving up some sacks as well.
That's right.
Not great running game there either. Little swing. There's some nice looking attempt at an open field tackle. Nick Ray got there, but broke the tackle to the outside.
I know Coach
There's
Turley.
my guy, number 7, Brandon
Right.
James.
There he is. Breaks through.
Nice cut. Down the field.
I know Coach Turley had said that he was kind of worried about the speed of Washington. They didn't have many victories.
I think
but
that was Nick Ray there for a touchdown. Chris Tyler. I think this was a nice, impressive sectional win
yes.
for Hobart. Getting off to a good start. They got a KV team that was impressive tonight. There's a turnover on a kickoff return. They had a KV team that was impressive tonight, Wayne, but picked up and run in there for a score. But Hobart's going to be a favorite next Friday night against KV.
Yeah, I think so. They're playing very well defensively and offensively. 33-14, Hobart win tonight.
All right, let's go out to Griffith, where John Glenn was in to take on the Panthers, who were favored this evening. And you got to love those 6 o'clock kickoffs. So
Yeah.
It allows our camera people to go to more than one game.
Yeah, that's right.
We had a short staff tonight, but our guys and ladies
Excellent
did a great job. this
They
evening.
really did an excellent
You know,
job.
we had a couple of those guys missing in action tonight.
Oh, yeah.
But, the folks here tonight were outstanding. All right, let's go to the highlights of Glenn and Griffith. How far will Griffith go, Wayne?
Well, it depends on if they don't put the ball on the turf. That's the big thing for Griffith. Griffith has the speed. Griffith has, an outstanding defense this year, and if they can keep the ball off the turf on fumbles, they can go a long way.
Jared Cottrell on the run. Fred Winston, we saw him before. Here he is again, making something out of nothing. Gaddafi Coleman up the middle. Wow, showing the speed into the end zone for the score.
It's going to be a big test next week against Rensselaer. Rensselaer has bodies. They're big offensively.
Michael Villalobos with a tackle for loss. That is a great matchup next week.
Yes.
With Rensselaer and Griffith.
You got speed, against strength up the middle.
Joshua Miller on the fumble recovery.
Nice
Gaddafi
hold.
Coleman.
Boy, that offensive line really did an excellent job of opening up some holes there. There's a nice run.
Gaddafi, we haven't seen Tavian Walker here, but I think we're going to see him coming up and on defense. There you go.
Right there.
Coming off the edge.
Right.
For a nice sack. Coleman gives you some of the speed and the power.
Boy, he sure does. He sure does. He's just really come on the last 4 or 5 weeks.
There's Walker with
That
a
was
touchdown
Walker.
run.
Yep, that was a Walker run.
What do you think next week, Wayne, with Rensselaer?
I'll tell you, it's at Rensselaer, and that will be a good one. I think that Griffith has a lot of speed, and I saw Rensselaer tonight against speed at Calumet.
That was number 9, Cameron Crowe with the pick 6 for the Panthers. Colin Barker for John Glenn with a catch. So you sounded like you're not going to make a pick tonight.
Right.
I think Griffith's speed's going to give Rensselaer some problems.
I think so too. I think so
But
too.
again, turnovers might be a big factor.
That's right. And that's kind of what happened at Calumet. Rensselaer caused some turnovers,
Yeah.
blocked a punt, took it in the end zone. So, strength versus speed.
There's Griffith tonight, big, 48-7. Let's check out the scores from across Northwest Indiana. First week, remember the big schools, 6A in Michigan City. The only 5A team with a bye. They are off tonight. So, I think that was your pick. They're looking ahead, Wayne. They gave you your pick.
That was my mistake. I didn't realize that they were playing today.
You were close on a few, Wayne, but not right on the money.
I won't
on that
change it. I'll stay with that pick for next week.
Mishawaka
Maybe a double
pick.
victory for me.
Lowell, very impressive tonight.
Very impressive.
Elsewhere, Highland and a rematch with Munster coming up.
Big night for the Trojans right there. And KV, stepping up and playing very well.
South Bend Clay winless this year, 0-10.
Yep.
And the Niners on the road, getting it done.
We said this was a trap game. Remember, we said that South Bend beat them last year, and Andrean lost to Lowell, so they may have been down. They stepped up and played well tonight.
Andrean and New Prairie, game of the night next Friday night. The Prairie, 42-14 over Riley. They had a slow start to New Prairie tonight, but they came on strong.
Right. There's Rensselaer with a 38-7, is that?
Yeah,
Lord.
Bombers and the Panthers next Friday night down in Rensselaer. That'll be an outstanding game. That might have Chuck DeMoss written all over it. Our radio correspondent, I think.
Then Hanover Central, they were down 12-zip.
Had 7 regulars miss the first quarter tonight.
First quarter, that's right.
For some disciplinary reasons, but
But they scored
responded.
like 35 in the
I
second
think
quarter.
35 in a row, in the second quarter. Hanover 49-12, and then they get the Lions Den next week. Mishawaka Marion, who
Wow, are
had
they
it
good?
all over Wheeler tonight. So they're the power of the South Bend area, and we'll see how Hanover Central stacks up against them in a barometer-type game for them. Whiting all over Boone Grove.
And North Newton all over.
This was not a final, but that
Bowman.
was a partial score, 42-0. So Whiting is headed to North Newton next Friday night.
And that's going to be a good game. I think that is. I mean, North Newton played Hanover well for quite a while, and then all of a sudden Hanover just kind of took over in that game. North Newton is the type of team that likes to run the ball, run the ball, run the ball.
Yeah.
And we'll see what
I think
Whiting's defense can do.
We've got it confirmed now that is the final.
That is the
42-0 for North Newton over Bowman. Knox over the Veld.
Oh, wow. That's going to be down the road. That could be a very good one. Knox to Whiting or
River Forest over Knoll.
yeah, Knoll struggled this year, and then
Big win for Lake Station
Big
over North
win.
White.
Big
North White
win.
had a 6-0 lead. The Station came back. The Jays got a much-needed victory tonight. In South Central with a shutout of West Central.
right.
You got to love the fact that here in Northwest Indiana, we have a school named South Central and West
Central, right.
in Northwest Indiana. Okay, we're going to head a timeout. When we come back, the game of the night is next, right after this on PFR Scoreboard.
For more information on everything Prep football, visit us on Facebook or on Twitter at PFR Sports.
All right, game of the night right here on PFR Scoreboard, and it lived up to it. We told you last night East Chicago and Munster would be a game that would be decided by turnovers and big plays, and it really was tonight.
Yes, it was. Munster didn't make them, and East Chicago did.
Yeah, East Chicago fumbled on the Munster goal line, and then Munster took it back for a 99-yard drive. And Munster overcame injuries, played a clean game, didn't have the mistakes, the turnovers on offense, did not put their defense in bad situations, and were able to win a big football game at home and move on. Let's check out some of the highlights. The Mustangs and the Cardinals. And here we go. Juwan Cooper, who is in for
Dan Stanley.
Stanley did play tonight, but he did not play much as he's banged up. Here's Danny Stanley, I think, right here with the spinorama. Beautiful tackle there by the Cardinals. And here comes Juwan Cooper again. A couple of big lions here. At least a couple of those linemen from Munster are big as well as East Chicago.
And I think that East Chicago or Munster was able to keep Devontae Jones kind of contained. They didn't let him to the outside. There was an interception.
Yeah, that was Jacob Fitch on the pick after a Jacob Stribiak tackle for loss. Munster's defense really stepping up tonight.
Yes, they really, really did.
There's another Danny Stanley run early. They lost Jalen Scott later.
A little bit too,
Yeah.
that's right. Jumonville just really took over and played very, very well. I think this is him scoring right here. No,
That was
31.
Danny Stanley
Right.
scoring before he went out. Devontae Jones with a kick return. East Chicago got some big plays coming up here from Jordan Velez.
This is a nice job there. Look at it. Look, stays on his feet. Stills up. Nice move.
Munster was due to finally get those turnovers cleaned up. Here's Velez going down all the way into the end zone for a touchdown. You see, late in the season, offense now maybe more on cylinders. If you cut back the playbook a little bit, do what you feel comfortable doing. It's very important that Munster not have any of those mistakes and put their defense in a bad situation. And their defense came to play tonight and had an outstanding night.
That's right.
One of these scores by EC was in the closing seconds. 17 seconds left when they scored to make it 28-22.
But then they kind of pooched the kick, and Munster got it.
Oh, beautiful throw, beautiful catch there. Jalen
Ran out the
Scott
clock.
went up top for the reception. That was some kind of catch there. Here's Tylee Rimmer. He was a marked man tonight. Boy, makes a catch, reverses field, goes all the way to the other side of the field on this run. and Munster wins 28-22. Munster avoids the turnovers and won the battle on the line of scrimmage. So their linebackers were impressive in those highlights that we showed with them. Tackles in the backfield, making some big stops, being disciplined and controlling the speed of East Chicago. Munster and Highland in a rematch, a game that early in the season, Munster really thoroughly dominated Highland after they'd gotten off to the nice start.
Right.
Maybe a revenge game for Highland.
You know, it's going to be a tough one. It's at Highland, and I think this is going to be a very, very good, hard-hitting game from both teams.
Yeah. Looking down the road, Munster with a big win tonight. Now, very winnable game next week. Could be playing for a sectional championship.
Yes, they really could.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. And, you know, Munster is, if they can get their injuries back, if Stanley can come back strong, if Scott can come back, they're a good offensive team. There's no doubt about it. And Jumonville is playing exceptionally.
Yeah. Yes, definitely. All right, time for some rapid fire scores on PFR Scoreboard as we show you all the finals tonight. Again, the Michigan City game is next week. That was Wayne's pick from last night. Caveman over Elkhart Memorial. Lowell still gaining some momentum. Lowell looking good with a chance to get to the sectional championship as well.
The Valley, Highland and Kankakee Valley, both of them played well tonight.
Yes, they did. And both of them will be underdogs, big underdogs next week. One of the surprises is just not that Andrean won, but the amount they did win tonight.
That's right. It wasn't a one-point win. I mean, they did a nice job of controlling that particular ball game, and New Prairie is just a juggernaut. They are so very
See,
very
maybe
good.
we got to see if T-Dub can get out there and get Russ Radke back on PFR on Thursday night.
I'd love that. That'd be
T-Dub, if you get out there, share the umbrella, my man. All right. I've got a lot of folks.
Or snowshoes, whatever.
Yeah, take an extra umbrella. All right, Griffith 48-7 over Glenn. Rensselaer, boy, Tommy's taking a lot of heat.
He is.
Rensselaer 38-7 over Calumet. Hanover got it done.
Yes.
You know, and Hanover's had a great year.
Yeah.
Conference championship,
Yes, they have.
10-0.
Beat Whiting.
They're up against it. Heavy underdog next week.
Yeah.
But that's kind of a program barometer game.
Right.
Let's see where we're at against a Mishawaka Marion team that's been great all year.
That's right.
So nothing that can happen next Friday for Hanover could diminish the great year that they've had.
That's right.
Whiting 31-6. That said, they want to compete, I'm sure, next Friday night. Knox headed on a collision course with Whiting, but North Newton wants to get in the way of that. Nice win for, not many years does River and Lake Station have sectional wins in the first week,
Right.
but a great night for both of them. They played very well, although now River gets to play Pioneer.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
River's had a really nice year, though.
Yes, they have.
Had the big win over Lake Station,
Yep.
so hopefully they can have another measuring stick next week and be somewhat competitive for their program against a really great Pioneers team. The Station over North White. The Jays over South Newton.
South Newton, 27-14.
North Judson trying to salvage a little bit of their season. It's been a little bit disappointing.
South Central.
Shut out West Central.
I'm not sure what pundit picked this particular game.
You had that one.
We'll save that to Thursday.
You had that one. You bet against East Chicago, and it finally came in for you.
Going to the bank.
I think that was the formula for Munster tonight.
Yes, it was.
They finally played a clean game on offense.
That's right.
And were able to get it done. Next week,
dominate the trenches.
6A's come back.
Yeah.
What are you looking at? Obviously, Valpo at Penn. That's going to be a big game.
That's going to be a big game. I'm hoping Valpo can really, come together. I hope LeFew is back at quarterback. That'll be a big difference.
LC and Crown Point.
That's going to be a tough one. It's at Crown Point, and boy, I tell you, that's going to be.
And Portage could be a favorite
against
Maryville next Friday night.
That's a balanced section.
Yeah. All right, we'll see you Thursday night with another edition of PFR on Lakeshore Public Television. Good night.
Is your throat still sore?
Yes.
We're almost there.
When you need a doctor, urgent care at Pinnacle Hospital. We have a network of physicians on site, located at 9301 Connecticut Drive in Crown Point. Urgent care at Pinnacle Hospital.
Who is the dark afraid of? His name is Tim. When you report a power outage, Tim and linemen like him respond to the call. Text OUT to 444-111 to report an outage. With your cell phone, when the power is out, power is still in your hands. A Flex Equity line from Tech Credit Union gives you convenient access to cash whenever you need it. This home equity loan features a low introductory rate and no closing costs. Tech Credit Union is an equal housing lender and is federally insured by the National Credit Union Administration. Learn more at techcu.org or call Tech Credit Union at 800-276-TECH.
Programming on Lakeshore Public Television is provided by Strack and Van Til Food Market. Custom decorated cakes, breads, and baked goods right from the oven. Domestic meats and artisan cheeses in every store. 7 days a week, fresh is more than just a word. Strack and Van Til, built around you.
Captioning for PFR and PFR Scoreboard is provided by Voice to Print Captioning, LLC. Wardrobe for PFR and PFR Scoreboard provided by Gosser Corporate Sales Incorporated. Custom embroidery, screen, and digital printing. Further support provided by Fahrenheit 212 Restaurant and Bar.